I now give the floor to the representative of the Russian Federation.
Thank you. We would like to express our gratitude to the United Arab Emirates in the Presidency of the Security Council, and personally to you, Madam Minister, for convening the debate today. We listened with a great interest to the statement by the USG Executive Director of UN Women, Sima Pahos, to the Managing Director of the IMF, Ms. Kristalina Georgieva, and to Ms. Koulibaly. We know the particular relevance of the issue of women's participation in social and economic cooperation as a most important element in peace building. Unfortunately, this area of cooperation is frequently and unjustifiably hushed up and pushed back to the background. The Russian Federation calls for additional measures to enhance the role of women in social and economic development of states. What is particularly relevant and needed are measures to increase the economic potential of women, to create conducive conditions for the development of women entrepreneurship, the broadening of access by women to the financial and material resources, markets, advanced technologies, and intellectual property. A very important area for international cooperation should include combating poverty, women's development, broadened access to education, and decent jobs. It is absolutely unacceptable to have the practice of using coercive unilateral measures against states. It is clear that such acts hit first and foremost at the interests of women in the social and economic areas. And these issues should be in the focus of the Security Council activity, the Peace Building Commission, and other UN bodies to make sure that the women's agenda is being consistently implemented. Madam President, the holiday of the 8th of March this year, the International Women's Day, is being celebrated against the background of watershed events in the international arena. For 8 years, the so-called Western world looked on with indifference at the murders perpetrated by the Kiev junta against women and children in Donetsk and Lugansk, at their persecution by the Ukrainian radicals and neo-Nazis in the east and southeast of Ukraine. It coyly lowered its gaze so as not to notice a Ukrainian policy of total eradication of Russian language, culture, Ukrainian citizens who had been born Russian. None of us, for some reason, knitted their brows and did not speak with theatrical metal in their voice when in Odessa people were being burned alive, women and teenagers at their trade union building. And this was done to the applause and cheers, live on Ukrainian TV channels. There was your complete indifference for 8 years running, total detachment, when towns and villages in Donbass were being bombed using aviation, artillery, multiple rocket launches, when complete blockade was being imposed. And the Kiev regime managed to get away with all of it. But this was not something that could continue indefinitely. Peace in Ukraine will be restored for the sake of the women, the children, the families. Madam President, since the Security Council passed Resolution 1325, more than 20 years have elapsed. And today is more than ever, the conceptual principles of the document are relevant, in particular the 4 pillars of it: the prevention, protection, participation, and strengthening of peace in armed conflict situation. Our goal is not to lose the advances we made in women's agenda, not to bury in sharp political battles the valuable political cooperation on this agenda. Russia was and is ready to cooperate. I thank you.
I thank the representative of the Russian Federation for their statement.